The world of organized crime has given birth to some of the most notorious figures in history, but one name stands out among the rest as a mastermind of ruthlessness and terror. His name is Salvatore Maranzano, an Italian-American mob boss who left an indelible mark on the world of crime, striking fear into the hearts of his enemies and earning the respect of his peers. Born in 1886 in the town of Palermo, Sicily, Maranzano was destined for greatness, but not the kind that his family had hoped for. His early life was marked by violence and a natural inclination towards leadership, traits that would serve him well in his future endeavors. As a young man, Maranzano was drawn to the world of organized crime, quickly rising through the ranks of the Sicilian Mafia. His cunning, intelligence, and ruthless determination made him a force to be reckoned with, and it wasn't long before he caught the attention of the powerful mob bosses of New York City. In 1925, Maranzano made the journey across the Atlantic, bringing with him a reputation for brutality and a vision for a new kind of mafia, one that would be more powerful and more feared than any that had come before. The streets of New York were treacherous, but Maranzano was undaunted, using his charisma and his intelligence to build a loyal following among the city's Italian-American population. Maranzano's rise to power was swift and merciless, as he eliminated any opposition and consolidated his position as one of the dominant forces in the city's underworld. His tactics were brutal, using violence and intimidation to get what he wanted, and his reputation grew with each passing day. He was a man who inspired fear, but also loyalty, and his followers would stop at nothing to protect him. As the years passed, Maranzano's power continued to grow, and he became one of the most feared men in the city. His organization was a well-oiled machine, with tentacles reaching into every aspect of city life, from the docks to the nightclubs, and from the police department to the mayor's office. But Maranzano's success was not without its challenges. He faced opposition from other mob bosses, who saw him as a threat to their own power and status. The most notable of these was Charles "Lucky" Luciano, a ruthless and cunning mob boss who had built his own empire through a combination of violence and strategic alliances. Luciano was a man who would stop at nothing to achieve his goals, and he saw Maranzano as a major obstacle to his own success. The two men were destined to clash, and their struggle for dominance would become one of the most infamous in the history of organized crime. The conflict between Maranzano and Luciano was a clash of titans, with each man determined to emerge victorious. The streets of New York became a battleground, as the two factions fought for control of the city's underworld. Maranzano's men were fiercely loyal, but Luciano had the advantage of numbers and resources. The war between the two factions was brutal, with bodies piling up on both sides and the city's residents living in fear of the violence that seemed to erupt at any moment. It was a time of great upheaval, and the city's authorities were powerless to stop the carnage. Despite being outnumbered, Maranzano's men fought valiantly, using their cunning and their knowledge of the city's streets to outmaneuver their opponents. But Luciano was relentless, using every trick in the book to gain the upper hand. The conflict raged on for months, with neither side giving an inch. It was a war of attrition, with each side waiting for the other to make a mistake. And then, in a shocking turn of events, Maranzano made a fatal error. He allowed his guard to drop, and Luciano's men saw their chance. On September 10, 1931, Maranzano was stabbed to death in his office, his body left to bleed out on the floor. The death of Maranzano marked the end of an era, and the beginning of a new chapter in the history of organized crime. Luciano emerged victorious, his power and influence now unparalleled in the city. But the legacy of Maranzano lived on, a reminder of the ruthless and cunning tactics that had made him a legend in his own time. His name would become synonymous with brutality and terror, a cautionary tale of the dangers of crossing a man who would stop at nothing to achieve his goals. And yet, despite the violence and the bloodshed, there is a certain fascination with the story of Maranzano, a man who embodied the very essence of the mafia. The world of organized crime is a complex and multifaceted one, full of characters and stories that are both fascinating and terrifying. Maranzano's tale is just one of many, a reminder of the power and the danger that lurks in the shadows of our cities. It is a world that is both repulsive and attractive, a world that draws us in with its promise of excitement and danger. And yet, It is a world that we must approach with caution, remembering the devastating consequences of the actions of men like Maranzano. As we reflect on the life and legacy of Salvatore Maranzano, we are reminded of the enduring power of the Mafia, an institution that continues to fascinate and terrify us to this day. The story of Maranzano is a testament to the human spirit, a reminder of the incredible things that we are capable of achieving when we set our minds to it. But it is also a reminder of the dangers of unchecked ambition and the devastating consequences that can result when we allow our desires to consume us. The history of organized crime is a complex and multifaceted one, full of characters and stories that are both fascinating and terrifying. From the early days of the Mafia in Sicily to the modern-day cartels of Latin America, the story of organized crime is one that is full of intrigue and danger. It is a story that continues to captivate us, a reminder of the power and the danger that lurks in the shadows of our cities. And it is a story that we will continue to explore as we delve deeper into the world of true crime and mystery. As we conclude our exploration of the life and legacy of Salvatore Maranzano, we are reminded of the importance of understanding the complexities of the human spirit. Maranzano was a man who embodied the very essence of the Mafia, a man who was driven by a desire for power and a willingness to do whatever it took to achieve his goals. But he was also a man who was capable of great loyalty and great love, a man who inspired devotion in those around him. And it is this complexity, this multifaceted nature of the human spirit, that makes the story of Maranzano so fascinating and so terrifying. The world of true crime and mystery is a fascinating one, full of stories and characters that are both captivating and disturbing. From the serial killers who haunt our nightmares to the mob bosses who rule our cities, the world of true crime is one that is full of intrigue and danger. And it is a world that we will continue to explore as we delve deeper into the mysteries of the human spirit. So if you're fascinated by the world of true crime and mystery, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel, where we'll be exploring more stories and cases in the weeks and months to come. And if you have any thoughts or comments on the story of Salvatore Maranzano, be sure to leave them in the comments section below. We'd love to hear from you and to continue the conversation about this fascinating and terrifying topic. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.